What's going on, guys? Grizz Stokenhagen 166 back again for another dip review. Been a while. Haven't seen you guys in a couple weeks. How's it going? I'm doing alright, but been super busy, which is the main reason I haven't been back here, or on here in a while. But I figured today don't have a whole lot to do really, so I figured I'd come on here and make a dip review for you guys. So what are we dipping today? Well, if you passed the third grade and looked at the title and understand the basic concepts of reading, then you can see we're doing Kodiak Premium Wintergreen Long Cut. Now, it's been a while since I've had this stuff, so I guess I kind of remember what it tastes like, a little bit maybe, but for the most part, I mean, this is going to be a more of a first impression video than anything, so of course I'm going to crack it on camera. Really wanted to do Copenhagen Mint for this video, but of course it still hasn't fucking come out here. I don't know why. I need to call Copenhagen and ask them what the hell their thought process is on not bringing Copenhagen Mint to the state that their main office is located in. But I don't fucking know. So I guess we'll open it up. We'll go over the presentation, I guess, a little bit. It's pretty cool. It is made by American Snuff Company, of course, so the lid is very thick metal and the bottom is very thick plastic. And then on the actual can it has a Kodiak bear up there. For those of you who don't know, American Snuff Company is a bear fan, I guess. A Kodiak bear is a type of bear. Grizzly bear is a type of bear. There's other ones out there too. Are there? I don't fucking know. My mind is in a different dimension right now. So anyway, we'll open this up and see what it smells like. Smells a bit artificial right off the bat. It's not too bad though. It doesn't smell like near as artificial as, I guess, Grizzly Wintergreen. I mean, I'm not trying to hate on Grizzly Wintergreen. If you like it, cool. I mean, keep dipping it. I'm not saying it's the worst dip ever, but, it's alright. So yeah, you can smell a little bit of the wintergreen in there. It's not too strong though, and it's a pretty average wintergreen when it comes to the actual scent of the wintergreen. It's not like Copenhagen or Stoker's where it's a really sweet wintergreen, or it's again not as much like Grizzly where it has that processed plasticky kind of smell. But the wintergreen smell it does have is just a generic wintergreen. There's nothing really special to say about it. So I guess we'll go ahead and pack a lip. Let's see here. They fill these cans up. I'm not used to this. I'm used to Copenhagen. How they always take out a pinch or so in the Copenhagen cans, and I'm used to. It's a lot easier for me to get a pinch of that. And a lot of you are probably saying, "Oh, it's a full can. You only need to pack it." Well, out of habit, and just because I like packing dip, I do it anyway. So fuck it. Let's get us a decent pinch. This stuff seems kind of dry, to be honest. We'll see. I'll probably throw in a filler, but for now, this will work. Yeah, it's definitely dry. Let me throw in a little bit more for you. Just a little filler. Or just a little filler. Okay. So, yeah, it is kind of dry. By the way, mud jug of the day, lock and load, motherfucker. So yeah, it is a bit dry. I kind of had a feeling it would be because on the back of the can here, I'm pretty much positive. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty much positive that just like on the Grizzly cans, the code on the back, you can read it for when it was made. And this one says K3, and that indicates that it would be made in, oh fuck, I just counted this in my head a few minutes ago. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, skip the I, J, K. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, J, K. That was made in the 10th month. And it says K3, so 10th month of 2013, which means it would be October of 2013. So goddamn stringy spit. Sorry about that. That was unattractive as hell. But yeah, it is a bit dry. It's fucking burning, man. Holy shit. My bottom grill lately has just been fucking rocked, man. Anything I put in, no matter what, like even a few days ago I had some Copenhagen Southern blend, and that stuff, if you guys don't know, usually is some of the softest on your gums. Like you know, you can pack a pretty fat lip of that stuff and almost not even feel it in your mouth. But even that, I felt still a little bit of a pain in the bottom of my lip, and God damn, that's nasty as fuck. I'm sorry, guys. I keep getting the stringy spits. Getting better. So yeah, first impression. Well, I have had this stuff before, as I mentioned, but it's pretty good. Not something that I dip all the time. Hang on, I'm gonna move this to the upper deck. There we go. That's better. Probably look fucking stupid. But gotta learn how to upper deck sometimes, guys. If you're crazy as fuck like I am and your bottom gums are killing you because you've been dipping too much, but you still want to dip, learn how to do it on the upper deck. You'll be fine. You know, give a rest your bottom ones, fuck up your top ones a little bit, you know? But yeah, it's you know, I prefer Cope Wintergreen or even sometimes Stoker's Wintergreen. Now Stoker's is probably one of the, I mean, Copenhagen is pretty sweet. Copenhagen Wintergreen is pretty sweet as well, but Stoker's is probably the sweetest wintergreen I've ever had. So I generally like those a little bit more. Every now and then I might dip this stuff, you know. It's not too bad. I don't know, I mean, it's probably not great to say this, but I haven't really had anything worse than Kodiak Winter. As far as wintergreens go, I haven't had anything worse than Kodiak Wintergreen, which sounds like, well, then that must be you must hate it, but I really don't. You know, haven't touched kayak. Fuck that stuff. That shit's, oh my god. I don't even want to think about dipping that shit, or Longhorn, or you know, there's a lot of other cheap brands out there that a lot of people don't see. This is for all tobacco products too, even with cigarettes. Like, you'll go to different states and there will be some brand of tobacco product out there you've never seen before, and that is the only state you'll be able to find it in. And it'll always be really cheap. It'll always be like, if it's dip, it'll always be, you know, $1 or $2 a can. I stay the hell away from that shit because I can't imagine it being any good. I stick to my Copenhagen because Copenhagen's the original and they're the king, so that's my shit. So yeah, Kodiak isn't too bad. It is kind of on the expensive side. I paid actually almost $5 for this tin, and I don't even pay that for any of the Copenhagen still on trial. Well, basically any Copenhagen that comes in a plastic can anymore, I pay less for that than I do for this Kodiak stuff. So Copenhagen Snuff and Long Cut are you know, they're always going to be more expensive because they're kind of the originals. I know Snuff is the original, like the first, you know, Copenhagen that ever came out, but Long Cut is the first dip that Copenhagen came out with that wasn't fine cut, that was actually considered long cut. But yeah, those two, I mean, they're pretty closely priced, the same as Kodiak. So but again, I don't buy those two a whole lot. I mean, I love them both to death. I love Copenhagen Snuff, I love Long Cut, but one, the price, and two, I just don't want to get sick of them. That may sound weird to you guys, but they're such a good dip that I feel like if I dip it too much, I'll get sick of it and I'll stop liking it. And I don't want that to happen because they're both fucking amazing. So, yeah, the pinchability of this stuff, it's not too bad. It's a typical long cut. It's similar cut to any of the, again, the cheaper Copenhagens, any of the Copenhagens in a plastic can. It's cut pretty much like that. Cut kind of like Grizzly Long Cut. Kind of like Skull. Skull Long Cut a little bit, you know. But it pinches together pretty well. I mean, this can was a little bit dry, but it still seemed to grab together, you know, relatively well. So packability, well, when I first put it, you know, in the bottom, as I showed you, it's in the upper deck now. But when I first put it in the bottom, it you kind of gotta work it around with your tongue a little bit more to get it packed into place than you would with like Copenhagen or Stoker's especially. But once you get it in the spot you want it and it gets situated in there, it's all good. And the upper deck, this really surprised me with the upper deck, but every time I've upper decked a dip, I haven't gotten a single floater, guys. Not one. And that surprises me. You'd think you'd get more in the upper deck because it's, you know, because of gravity. But for some reason, I mean, it stays packed like perfect when I put it in the upper deck. But so yeah, packability is pretty good. Nicotine, it's decent. It is made by American Snuff Company, so it's one of the higher ones out of many of the dips out there. You know, it's higher than Skull, higher than Kayak, of course, higher than Longhorn, any of your cheap, shitty brands. Might even be a little bit higher than Copenhagen, but let me see how much. This actually is 100% U.S. tobacco, so for American Snuff Company, that's pretty cool. Grizzly, as you all know, a lot of Grizzlies have, it varies depending on which flavor it is, of course, but they have, all of them have, besides the premium dark wintergreen, and there may be one or two more that might be 100% US, but most of them have a decent percentage of foreign tobacco in them. So That's one thing I do like about Kodiak, is it's 100% American grown tobacco. But yeah, nicotine, it's, I don't get buzzes really anymore, unless it's from Copenhagen stuff. Or actually, funny story, the other day, actually a couple times this has happened. I did the review on Grizzly 1900 long cut, and that review went totally fine. The lip was fine. I didn't really feel a whole lot of nicotine, if any. I was okay. It was a normal dip. It tasted all right. Didn't make me gag or anything. But I had a pinch of Grizzly Long Cut 1900, and one day it was the first dip I took of the day was Grizzly Long Cut 1900, and I think that was probably my biggest mistake. I started getting this buzz like no other fucking buzz I've felt before. It was ridiculous, and maybe 5 minutes or so after the buzz had started, like not 5 minutes after I put the dip in. I don't know how long it was after I put the dip in, but it seemed like about 5 minutes after I'd been buzzing, I threw up, and that was like my first time throwing up from dip. It doesn't happen. And I don't know what made it happen either. I guess maybe nicotine overload is the only thing it doesn't taste bad to me. I've had a couple pinches of the Grizzly 1900 since then, been totally fine, but I don't know, I guess I just shouldn't take Grizzly 1900 as my first dip of the day or something, but I don't know. Anyway, just thought I'd tell you guys that. Another thing I want to talk about, I've been doing a lot of research lately. I'm actually working on a research paper, so gotta do research for it to be a research paper, right? The subject I'm doing it on, though, is how smokeless tobacco is a safer alternative to cigarettes. I stand behind that statement completely. I don't have any shame in it. I don't have any shame that I dip. I don't care what people think. If, people who know I dip, I don't care what they think. And I just want to do research for myself. Obviously I've mentioned before, I've watched Mudjug's one video, How Smokeless Tobacco Can Save Your Life. Great video, by the way. Check it out if you haven't already. But watch that. HR Falcons 22 actually came out with a video that he has kind of reiterated what Mudjug one said in his video. Kind of talked about what he talked about. Added a couple more of his, kind of personal opinions in it, and there's other videos. Outlaw's done a couple videos, and there's plenty of other videos too that talk about the negative side effects or lack thereof of using smokeless tobacco. And it's just recently interested me in why society has claimed smokeless tobacco to be such a evil, cancer-causing, life-threatening substance, when really it's not. I'm not sitting here saying, yeah, you should dip. Everyone should do it. Everyone should try it. Everyone should become a dipper. No, I'm not saying that. You shouldn't dip. It's not good for you. Don't do it. But, if you are going to choose a vice, which by vice, if you don't know what a vice is, basically anything that you use, any kind of substance that you use that, is a drug or anything that isn't made to necessarily better your health, but is kind of just made to relieve stress, whatever. There's people who dip for a lot of different reasons. I mean, mainly because they're addicted to nicotine, but as far as having a vice goes, dip, snooze, chew, plug, whatever it is that you're interested in, it is much safer than pretty much anything else out there. I mean, safer than a lot of drugs, obviously. Safer than alcohol. It's safer than cigarettes, of course. It's safer than cocaine and heroin, crack, all that bullshit. So if you're gonna use a substance to make you feel good, for lack of better words, smokeless tobacco is really the way to go, to be honest. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to do or anything. I'm not going to tell you not to drink or anything. I drink occasionally, so but people just get so worried, and every time a non-tobacco user sees someone pulling out a can of dip, or pulling out a bag of chew, pulling out a pack of smokes, whatever, they instantly have this negative feeling towards that person, and are just like, oh, you're gonna get cancer, or blah blah blah, your jaw's gonna fall off, you're not gonna live as long as most of us are. Well, bitch all you want, but I'm a dipper. A lot of you guys, of course, I'm sure, are dippers too. Don't let anybody tell you what the fuck to do. Do what you want. Be your own person. Don't let anybody control you, because that's one way that the government has, one of the reasons, in my opinion, that the government has put these warning labels on smokeless tobacco, regulated it, taxed it, all that good bullshit that us dippers know about. The reason is because they want to control people. They want people thinking the way they think. They want people doing what they want to do, and that's it. Our country is founded on freedom and being able to, once you're an adult and you're of sound mind to make adult decisions, you can do that. But at the same time, the government makes it seem like you can't, because they want to control what you do. They want to control what we eat. They want to control what products we use. They want to control what church we go to. They want to control what we watch on TV. They want to control everything. So again, saying this isn't really going to do anything. I doubt any government officials are watching right now and saying, "Oh yeah, this guy's making a lot of sense. We should stop doing this." I mean, if they're doing that, then cool. But I doubt it's happening. But I just figured talk a little about that, and the ultimate thing that this brings me to is once I get my research paper done, I would like to do a video kind of discussing it, and leave it in the comments below what you want me to do. But I had the idea kind of coming on here, reading you the paper first off, and then secondly, kind of just highlighting the key points and stuff like that. If you want me to talk about that, if you want me to talk about different things you can do, besides dipping that'll kind of compensate for your dipping habit, different ways to take care of your mouth, take care of your body, take care of yourself as a person overall. So just leave it in the comments below whatever you want me to do, and I'll get to it. I won't be able to do that. I mean, I could come on here as soon as I write the paper. As soon as I get done with the paper, I could come on here and read it to you and everything, but I would like to get it graded first. Reason being, if it gets a bad grade, I don't really want to come on here and talk about it, because then it probably won't be, as great of assistance to you guys. And if it gets a good grade, however, though, if I can get a B or an A on it from a college professor, he's a doctor, of course. If I can get a B or an A on it from a college professor, and to have it be graded like that, it's definitely something I would want to share with people and everything. But so we'll see when that happens. It'll be middle of May, somewhere in there, when I come out with it, because the grade will be out by early May, so it'll be somewhere around there that I do it. But so yeah, sorry, kind of digress. I have a habit of doing that in my videos, just rambling on about useless bullshit. But yeah. So Kodiak Wintergreen, if you can get your hands on it, yeah, I suggest you try it. Try everything once. That's what a lot of dippers tell you. Try everything once. My opinion of it might be completely different than your opinion. In fact, it probably will be completely different than your opinion. So go out and try it. If you don't like it, hey, at least you say you had the experience, and if that way you can actually say that you don't like it, instead of just being influenced by people's opinions on YouTube of what dip tastes like and what's good and what's not good. So yeah, again, it's kind of expensive, at least where I live. It varies depending on where you live, but I like to try the mint as well. Joey Leds did a video on it, and honestly, I didn't even know Kodiak had a mint until I saw Joey Leds' video on it. I thought Wintergreen was the only Kodiak, but apparently they have mint and even straight too. Might even have a natural. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but yeah. So I guess that's the review. As Mudjug1 always says, if it ain't dip, it ain't shit, and if you ain't packing, then you're slacking.